wealth lessons that actually work. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about, wealth and, things that actually are built into to that create that big moment, that really allow you to get ahead. And these things I want you to take in and understand that it's important to focus on these things when you actually are looking to build wealth. Okay. The first thing is the power of compounding interest. You've heard me talk about the rule of 72. You probably heard that a million times. But what does it really mean? Compounding interest. Well, it's how money doubles, triples. You know, it's earning and growing while you sleep. It's earning and growing while you're at work. It's earning and growing while you're on vacation. It's earning and growing while you're living life, but it's working for you. Okay? Compounding interest is so important when it comes to building wealth. Once you understand it and you understand, the accounts and some other things, taxes and so forth, you really, really learn to get ahead. Okay? So that's a very important lesson, and how money actually works is that compounding interest is such a big component of that. Okay. The next thing is index accounts or index investing, understanding indexing. You know, people put stuff in different investments, but one thing that really you want to look at, and this is just opinions, you can do whatever, your financial advisor request or advises you on, but take a look at indexing, and there's different ways. I mean, obviously, there's stuff in the markets that you can do. There's stuff in insurance that you can do. I deal strictly with index funds. When I'm helping with my clients, and it really allows you to put money and grow your money without any specific stock. Things like that. I mean, obviously, you can invest in real estate and some other things, but index accounts, is something that I feel that everybody should pay attention to, and look at, you know. Um, the other thing is emotional investing. Every time you go out and you're going to do an investment, when I talk with my real estate clients, I always say, okay, before we go look at property or before we walk into the house to look at it, remember, this is a business transaction. Okay. You're going to get a lot of emotion when you see the house that you really love, and you're going to want to jump up and down. And you're going, this is the house. Well, you and somebody else probably likes it. So you're going to be in a competing situation. Understand these are business decisions. Try to leave the emotions out of it. Same with investing in I don't care if it's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or whatever you're going to buy in real estate or whatever you're going to get into. Emotion should not be part of the decision making. These are business decisions, things that allow you to build wealth, okay? That's another lesson I want to leave you with. Keep the emotion out of it. And then the other thing is spend less than you earn. Live a little bit below your earning amount, below your means, in order to maintain that wealth building that actually works. Okay, it allows you to get ahead. Create that lifestyle without the creep, okay? Because that eats away at your future, okay? So that's something that you got to keep in the back of your mind. We call it lifestyle creep, but in this case, live below your means. Allow the money to grow and compound so you can have the life that you want, not just today, but when you're older, okay? And maybe your grandchildren and your children, you guys want to go on vacation later and things like that. So it allows you to do the things that's necessary, okay? Learn a money skill. The other thing is learning money as a skill, really understand it. Take the time to build that financial literacy, okay? Because when you have a better education and understanding, I should say, of money, you make better decisions because you're more aware of what you're doing and how money works. So keep that in the back of your mind, as you're making decisions, throughout your life, and then the last thing I want to leave you with is don't be afraid to ask for help or ask for advice. Now, I have a lot of years of experience. And this morning, I was on a call because I have some business clients out in Texas that I'm working with, and they had some unique situations. And it's a business, so it's a little different than individuals. So I reached out to some experts in that field for one of the companies I work with, and talked to their advanced planning team, specifically their, you know, some tax and estate planning folks, and dove into some things. And boy, did I learn more in a 30-minute call than I've learned probably in the last 6 months. Because when you ask for help or reach out to people that may have a little bit more knowledge in specific areas than you, and I don't care if you have 1 year of experience or 40 years of experience, you never stop learning. And that was such a, this morning, that was such a, because they're out in the central time. So I was, 8 o'clock my time, 10 o'clock their time. But it was such a great conversation, and the stuff I learned, it was amazing. But I was more excited because I learned something new. And I have a lot of experience, and I'm thinking, wow, I thought I knew a lot. Well, I don't know everything. And this was something that was really nice. It was eye-opening and it felt refreshing because, I felt like, hey, I learned something that I can help my clients, specifically the folks from Texas, but more importantly, all my business clients, you know, um, and it really just opened my eyes to a new approach, even for my own business. So anyway, so I want to leave you with that. Don't be afraid to ask for advice, ask for help. Don't let your pride get in the way. If you ever have questions, you can always call. There's no commitment. It's just a phone call. It's just a conversation. I'm here to help. So anyway, thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and appreciate all of you. Thank you.